welcome back to our channel. Thanks to everyone who has watched, shared our videos, left comments, all our YouTube family. Mwah! We love you. You know we always love you, and thanks for coming back. If you've just joining us for the first time, where have you been? Okay, this is Speaking Grace TV, and I am yours truly, Adana. I'll introduce her, if not she'll take forever. She is Wumi. People should just take it like that. She's well, you can sometimes call her Anna. Today's topic, it's similar to the one we did not too long ago. Today's topic is about how we transition from being newlyweds, from it being just we and our husbands, to having kids, so to parenting. So from newlyweds to parents. We're just going to give just a few very little of our experience, and we would love to hear all the experiences out there. I'm sure it will be fun to read them.
All right, so you know that that phase, newlywed phase, it's usually a nice and very exciting phase, and
breakfast in bed kind of phase.
So transitioning, the addition of a baby is a joy. Of course, the Bible says children are the heritage of the Lord.
Blessing.
A blessing, bundle of joy.
Bundle of joy.
Yeah. So, but you know, in the home, it's a new phase, and it could pose, you know, some kind of I don't want to call them issues, but you know.
See, don't quote it. Don't quote it. It can break. It can make or break a marriage.
Yeah, because it's that season where the woman is not getting enough sleep at night and she's a bit grumpy. It's that season when you now have a lot of laundry.
Hormones are flying.
You know.
Hormones are flying. The woman is changing. The man is getting extra responsibility.
Yeah,
you know, he has
money.
to buy nappy. He has
blah,
to,
blah, blah.
you know, things like that. So yeah, it can be very challenging. It can make or break a home.
Yeah, and it's also a time where you know, there's no more me time now. You know,
Time.
Yeah, it's us time and all that. And
there's also a time. It's also a time where you now have to really teach yourself to share your love, to prioritize your love, because there is this little tiny Winnie always crying for attention, and you still have your big baby that is still wanting attention. So
of course, another issue is I think we'll still talk on this later on, but another issue that it poses when the children are start to grow, you know, like being toddlers and all that, then you now have you and your partner having different parenting styles. If that's not what you sat down to discuss before, you know, marriage, you need to sit down and discuss, you know, parenting styles that will work for the home. So those are things that, you know, transitioning to becoming parents can.
And also, like, you know, the thought of how many kids you want to have, what you want to have, if you want a boy first, if you want a girl, and whatever God now gives you, you know, it's those things. That's just what we want to touch on today.
All right, I'm just going to be brief. 2 things that I've learned to do in this period of in the period of I becoming a mom is number 1, to rely on God's grace, because my brother and my sister, so we're talking it's just by the grace of God. You know that these children don't come with manual. There's no manual from heaven. I'll tell you that. Okay, in the morning, go and buy for your baby at so time, afternoon time, do this. So you know, but for God to trust you with these children, and He's able to give you the grace to, you know, handle it. So, and I think it's intertwined with my second point, which is trusting God. You know, there are times where we are worried, we are anxious. Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Blah blah blah. I hope you know, there are times when we just put ourselves under undue pressure. Am I measuring up? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do to myself? I'm just, you know, trusting God. And there are times when you now have to release your children. You want your children to go out. You need to trust that, you know, God's grace is able to keep them. God is with them. You know, that God is with you in, you know, your parenting, basically. So in my transitioning to becoming parents, I've just learned to trust God and to rely on His grace, basically.
You know, there's one thing you've not touched that I actually
Is
see.
it prayer?
No, don't rush me, because I'm sure the people, my people will be hating me right now for dragging her back. She has not told us how she did the transitioning. She has said about the child. She has not talked about the she and her uncle. That's the one we want to hear, because that one too is very important.
How we did the transitioning for me and my husband, I want to say that communication is very big. Right from when we're expecting, we already knew we were expecting. It's just similar to what I said, preparing your mind. You know that there's a child coming, preparing our mind that a child is coming, and of course, practically speaking, we talk about chores. There's a lot of laundry to do. My husband was very helpful. He, in little ways, he could send messages. When it feels like you are becoming overworked or you are anxious, send messages. To calm you down. Go out. To help you get some things, some groceries. Help with laundry and all that. And most importantly, praying. Praying and just trusting God. I feel like I don't think I can't really just carry on. I don't think I can remember any other practical way.
For me, unfortunately or fortunately, mine is my own transition should have been a good one, because before we got married, we did talk about if we wanted kids right away. So those were things that we discussed, and we were more like prepared for it. But what we were not prepared for was what God had in stock for us. So my one was different, because while I was expecting, we lost our first baby, so that was quite different for us. It took us on another journey, basically, a turn that we didn't expect, and as she said, now it takes grace, and there's no manual for things like that, and it takes to trust God, basically, to basically see you through, because what else can you do? So yeah, for us, transitioning from just it being the both of us to being parents, it wasn't straightforward, and it wasn't that easy, because we like obviously expecting excitement, we bought everything, had the baby, lost the baby almost immediately, went back to, after all the being pregnant and everything, went back to being single parents again. It wasn't funny, but God being God who He is, gave us another one almost immediately, and made us parents. And yeah, and this time around, just as she talked about, because of what we had experienced, it was now quite different, and quite difficult for us to let go. I think at a point we almost smothered her, always being overprotective. Overcaring. Trust me, I wasn't sleeping.
Anna, we're talking one day. I don't know what. No, we are discussing because we usually talk a lot.
I'm laughing. I don't know what she's saying.
Yeah, new mom. Any small thing. If your child coughs, carry your phone.
Check Google. I will be checking.
Dr. Google. Was that Dr. Google?
We're checking my daughter's temperature. I was asking Wumi. She has that thermometer.
Dr. Google was very often that transitioning.
My child was almost sleeping with thermometer.
Any small thing, I'll carry my thermometer.
I'm reading the forehead. That one is not enough. I will choke the other one in her mouth. I read from Google that they say the best place to get the if it's that one, I will hear my husband will be like, you will use this thing to keep this thing. Even when small breeze, I will carry sweater and land on her. I was it wasn't funny. We're laughing about it now to the glory of God. But it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny.
And I think that that thing is just usually for the first child, because when it comes to the second child, you've gained a bit of experience, so you are now more relaxed.
What do they call it? What they call experienced people?
Hey, you're not experiencing.
And there's this slang they give to them. So it's more like you been there, done that, you know. So although you're still quite
you're still learning, but you're not a bit more relaxed than
yes,
because,
yes,
yeah.
And yes, how did we transition financial wise? Anyway, like I said, ours was quite different. So yeah, we spent a lot of money because obviously after the first one that we lost, we didn't want anything from that one. We gave everything away and we had to buy again, and obviously that stopped into our pocket because we had our second baby almost immediately. So yeah, that stopped into our pocket. And another thing,
transitioning financially for us was just a bit alright. It just required planning. Of course, we were both working, but for me, the lady had to go on maternity leave and thank God for the system. Yeah.
Yes, that one I'm getting at because things had to change a lot, like drastically. Like it was like a 360-degree change for me, especially because trust me, since I was maybe 16, I've never stayed home and not work. So I had to stay at home and not work. And at the point that I almost started going crazy. You know, I became a wicked witch from Nigeria. Basically, yes, I was always angry. I was always nagging. Yeah, because I was home. That's not what I was used to. You know, all those things. Everything.
Me,
on the
other hand, I quite enjoyed it because I didn't see.
You're a lazy woman now.
No, I'm not. No. Excuse me. No. Listen. It depends on what you term as being at home does not mean that you are not busy. Yeah, that's true. I'm at home 247. I was always up and doing, like busy to the extent that I would be sleeping late. So for the fact that I was at home does not mean that I was jobless, and I enjoyed it because I engaged in what I loved doing. I was blogging, I was writing posts.
That's because your passion includes you staying, as in your passion does not mind you staying at home.
Okay, so I was writing. I was writing a lot. I was doing all those things. So I didn't see myself as jobless because I was at home, and I kind of, not even I loved it that I was able to stay with my child. Yeah.
Well, you see, me, I wasn't like me as well. I wasn't saying it. I'm not a blogging or watching kind of person. So I'm always a being out there kind of person, and not like I like to go out, but I'm always a going out to work kind of person. So staying at home was it was something to, but right now I like it actually. Yeah, so but yeah, that was how. Then coming to the last part, I know everybody will be saying, because I watched something somewhere, everybody will be saying they didn't touch the best part. Alright, so for that best part, you know that that kind of thing is like it's personal. I don't. Personal is not the word I'm looking for, but I'm sure you people understand what I'm trying to say. It's individual. It's tagged to every individual. And again, as Wumi said, everything is just communication.
Yep.
It's just communication. But trust me, when the children start coming, you see that alone time you used to have. No more, because that's when the baby will be crying. Atana, let me shut up my mouth. Alright, so thanks for
you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop your comments in the comment section. We really want to hear from you. How did you transition from being, newlywed to parent? We want to hear, and we're sure a lot of people would benefit from this. And if it calls for us to recording a part 2, we're gonna do it. Please remember to like, remember to share, remember to subscribe. Thank you so much.
Click the like button, click the bell so you get notifications
when
it
post.
Yeah. Me. I want rap. Oh, yeah.